Alright, welcome back to the channel. You guys got some frost on you. It is check day number 6, I believe. And we're just pulling up here to the first set. We checked a couple of them this morning while we were riding around looking for deer. This was where Dave had that set by the brush pile, and then I had mine just over here. And they're both empty. I think our biggest problem we're going to be battling is we didn't plan for the cold weather, and it was like 14 when we came outside this morning. So I'm going to guess that a lot of our sets were frozen just because the ground was so wet. Any that we did remake with dry dirt should be fine. So there's potential to make some catches, but probably not going to have a lot of catches. So let's go check the rest of these. We've only checked 2 while we were riding around 2 locations, so still have 6 more or 5 more to check now that we just checked that one. So let's go see what we got working. All right, here's Dave's pipe dream set that he had on this little terrace. Nothing in there.
Little buck.
Couple deer running.
Oh, those must have flanked around.
Yeah. See if we got anything down here by the wood line. It's not looking too promising. Anything over there?
And that's a negative.
I had some high hopes for those sets. Those are both made with dry dirt, so slipping on the frost. All right, on to the next ones. Hopefully we get at least a catch. Seal this dollar up for the day.
And breakfast. It's gonna be epic.
I'll see you guys at the next one.
Was this the one I caught my coyote in, or the next one?
Oh, this was one of them.
I caught so many, I just can't remember.
Guy caught 2. Did have a pretty good week. Wasn't too shabby. So here's Dave's next set where he caught that coyote yesterday. He remade it. It's right there. Still looks good. We'll back up a little bit to my pipe dream set. Right here, still looks good. So on to the next ones. I'd say both of these are probably frozen right now, but it's supposed to warm up I think tonight, so we shouldn't have that problem tomorrow. Hopefully the critters will be working good. Here's my signpost set right here in the corner of this terrace. She's empty. I'd say she's probably frozen solid. Here's Dave's set, which is also probably frozen.
There's a big buck.
There's a deer running way over there. Alright, on to the last 2 sets. Dave's last day here.
Last 3 hours.
He's headed back to Michigan today.
So if we don't catch anything, we buy our own breakfast?
looking like we're buying our own breakfast. Which is sad. I was really hoping Dave was gonna have to buy me the smorgasbord.
The buffet line.
It's a whole lot of nothing. Couple more blanks, which they're probably both frozen because they were still the originals.
No. I got a coon there. I used dry dirt.
Yeah, but then you put wet dirt on top of it to make a nice crust.
I don't recollect.
One more set to see who buys breakfast. Man, please. There's my pipe dream set. Still looks good. And Dave's still looks good.
No catches today.
Whole bunch of blanks, but I also think we had a whole bunch of frozen traps, which is all right. Did plenty of skinning yesterday, and I still got a couple more days down here, and the weather's supposed to warm up a little bit, so it should be pretty good, I think. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably combine today and tomorrow's video since we didn't have any catches. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. You guys are a little dirty. Alright. It is check day, I think, number 7 now. Dave left yesterday afternoon, headed back to Michigan with his bobcat. So I'm running the line solo now. I think I'm going to pull a few sets today and probably move some sets and then maybe make some additional sets. We'll see how ambitious I get, but I'd like to catch one bobcat, so I'm going to probably move some sets closer to some timber, brush piles, etc., where the cats will like to hang out, because a lot of our sets are kind of off of the timber, more where a coyote would be working, some CRP edges and etc. So really try and hone in more on the bobcat territory, which there's a really good spot on this farm just on the other side here. But just pulling up here to the first set. The weather should have been decent. It wasn't super windy, but it was warmer yesterday. So we'll see what we got. It doesn't look like we have anything, but see if our traps were monkeyed with or not. Here's that set, my set where I caught those 2 coyotes. It still looks good. Nothing's been digging around down there, so we'll take a look at Dave's set that's up here by this terrace. His still looks good. So there must have been nothing working in this area. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave these. Mine's been pretty productive, and I know if there's a group of coyotes that come back through, they're probably, the one group that was living in here is probably a little gun shy because we were shooting at them when we did the calling. But they should still be working in hunting, looking for food. So, but let's move on to the north end of this farm and check those other sets we had for bobcats. Looks like Dave's trap is set off and flipped out of there. Something came over and monkeyed with it. Can't see mine. I have to get out and go check it. Still looks good. Take a look at Dave's here. Yeah, there wasn't much of a struggle, so I'm gonna guess that it was just a deer. Deer stepped in it and then pulled it off. So I'm gonna remake both of these sets and just leave them here for another night. That's where Dave caught that first cat, and so they're in a good spot. But I'm gonna come back down to this farm with some more traps after I pull them. I have some more in the back of the truck, but I really don't want to get too carried away because I got to pull the whole trap line tomorrow afternoon before I head home. So I'd rather pull a couple and then do some remakes. That way I don't have to boil and wax as many again. So on to the next sets. Alright, just pulling up to these sets, and I'm not going to run them in the same order that I had been because there's a few of them that I want to pull. The wind is supposed to be like a northwest or west-northwest this evening, so a lot of these sets were set up for a south wind. I'm going to pull them and either just leave them in the truck or do some remakes on the opposite side of the cover. But let's go check these two. And I'm going to pull these two because they're set up for a south wind for sure. And I'm probably going to do a remake on the other side of this draw. But let's go see if we got any action last night. So here's my set. It was a Pipe Dream set. It still looks good. And then Dave's set down here where he caught the coyote yesterday and did a remake. Still looks good. Nothing touched it. So I'm gonna get both of these pulled out. We'll throw them in the truck and we'll probably at least remake one of them. So let's get that done. So I found these two spots where something's been digging into these terraces, and it's just littered with coyote tracks. I don't know if it was a badger digging it or if coyotes were digging it. This one was not here the other day, all this dirt. That one was there the other day, but it's also got fresh dirt now on the top of it. So I think I'm gonna throw a trap on this one and a trap on this one, just back from the entry, and just see if I can get lucky and catch something there. So let's get those thrown in. All right, yeah, so I'm not sure what dug these holes. Looks like they were just trying to dig ground squirrels or something. So it could be a badger, but set a trap right here, just in their piling of their excess dirt, and then the same on this one. The trap's bedded like right out here, so we'll see. Might catch something, might not. It'd be cool to catch a badger. I've seen a couple down here, but not. as many as I see around up north, so we'll see what happens. We got one night, and if something comes to check those holes out, a coyote or something, we might get a catch. So basically just pulled those 2 traps and then just moved them down here. So on to the next one. I'm gonna run over to that terrace up in the corn stubble field and pull both of those traps if we don't have anything in them, because we haven't caught anything there all week, which is kind of surprising. So let's run over there and get that done. Alright, let's see what we have shaking out here. Well, nothing in my signpost set, and I don't see anything down here in Dave's set, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull both of these. I haven't caught anything here all week. As you guys can see, the wind is picking up. Got a little bit of a front moving through. Supposed to get some sprinkles this afternoon, so hopefully we don't get too much rain. Really muddy everything up again, but definitely gonna get all my sets in where I can drive to them tomorrow easily and not have to do a lot of walking when I'm going to pull the whole line to head home. So let's get these 2 sets pulled, and then we'll go check their next ones. Alright, here's the next 2 sets. I'm just gonna pull both of these sets. I haven't caught anything in mine all week, which I was hoping I was gonna have something that would be working the edge of this brushy draw, but I think the grass is just too tall and too thick. Most of them are staying over here in this mowed grass as far as coyotes go. Here's my set. Looks like something stepped in there. Let's go take a closer look. Yeah, so I had a deer step in there, right there. Luckily, didn't go off on him. But let's get this set pulled out, and then we'll go check Dave's set that he had over there. Well, looks like we got something in this other one. This is where he caught those 2 raccoons. Got another cat. Looks like a mature one. A little on the smaller side, but real pretty, lots of spots. So yeah, nice tips on the ears. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that little cat. I think I'm just gonna dispatch it. We get 3 tags now. This will be my first for this season. And so I don't, like I said, tonight's my last night, so I'll try and catch a few more tomorrow. Coyotes, and hopefully catch a cat, but they've been pretty tough this year. So let's get that dispatched, and then we'll pull this set, because once it rains we're not going to be able to drive down this road, so it makes it kind of a pain. But yeah, cool to see. Alright, so got that set all pulled, and on to the next one. We've got a couple more sets we're gonna go back and check, and probably make a couple more over there closer to the timber, so let's go do that. We got 3 sets back here to check, and I'm probably going to make maybe one more set back here. I'll probably pull the one that's on the terrace and then make one a little over closer to the timber on the opposite side for the west wind. But let's go see if we got anything last night. So here's the set that Dave had. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that. It was a pipe dream. And then we're gonna set up on the other side. There's more timber. Pretty much this timber is an L shape. It wraps all around back there. Set up on the other side of this little point. And hopefully we can get us a cat over there. So let's get this pulled out. We had 2 more sets just up here over the hill. Doesn't look like we caught anything that I can see. Oh, my trap. It's either dug out or flipped out. Something happened. Looks like it's set off. Looks like I got deered. And this one over here is also set off. I'm gonna go ahead and do a remake on both of these. Actually, I might just pull them both. It's kind of looking like we're gonna get a little more rain than what I thought. So I think I'm gonna remake them. The heck with it. We got one more night, and it's a good spot to see a cat. So let's get them both remade quick. I'll show you once I'm done. So here's both of these remakes. It's mine with the pipe dream. And I remade this set, which is more of like a cubby set, all blocked in with this wood. There's a dirt hole back in there, and then the trap's bedded right in there. So both blended real well. Should be a good spot to catch a cat or a coyote. So now let's jump to the other side of this finger. I'm gonna make one more set over there, I think. So let's go throw that in. So here's this finished set. I used some Dobbin's Perfect Lure Caven's Predator bait on the right hand hole, and then the Blue Valley on the left hand hole. And I left it just dirt, like something had been digging there. A little bit more eye appeal. And it's set up right on the edge of where this mowed line is. And the wind should be blowing straight down into that timber tonight. So should be a good spot to catch something. So hopefully we can get us a cat or a coyote. But now let's move down. Well, let's go check the remaining traps we have up north, and then we'll go back down to the first farm, remake those, and I want to set at least one more down there. So let's get to it. All right, just made it up to these next couple of sets here. See this one, everything still looks good. I caught a coon here, but the wind's gonna be blowing straight towards this ditch tonight, so I'm gonna probably go ahead and pull that one. And then Dave's over here that he had set, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one too, and probably move back along the edge of this timber, maybe on each side here. see if we can't catch a coyote or a bobcat. Kind of stay away from the ditches where all the coons are hanging out. So let's go ahead and get those two pulled, and then I'll show you guys once I find a location to set them. Alright, so here is where I'm going to set the first one. Basically the same wooded draw. I had my trap set on the other side over there before, but any bobcats or coyotes that are working these brush piles, I'm going to set my trap right here. Use this grass as the backer and stump for some eye appeal. I'm sure they're coming over and checking that, and maybe even using it as a signpost. So wind's picking up, sorry about that, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my set thrown in right here, and I'll show you guys once I get done. Here's this finished set. Did the double dirt hole again. I used the I used the Dunlap Cat Reaper lure, and then some coyote urine. So the wind should be blowing straight that way tonight, right towards that corner. So anything that's working up in this draw hunting should smell this site. So we'll see how she does. Now I'm gonna go over here to this other corner and make a set over there. Alright, so this is where I'm gonna make my next set. My last one that I just did was, it's probably 300 yards over there, just over the hill. So same draw. This is kind of an inside corner. Got a big brush pile right here, and then I've got like a little food plot set up back in the timber back in there, and we've got a camera just down here on a scrape, and we always get tons of coyotes and bobcats working this mowed trail along the edge. So I think I'm gonna throw something in right here along this tall stuff. Just use the briars as a backer. Forgot about these last two sets I had to check yet. Doesn't look like I got anything in my trap. I think I'm just gonna pull these two sets. Dave caught the one coyote in his. Yep, I had a pipe dream right here. Nothing in that. And that's Dave's, where he caught that coyote. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull both of those. Okay, just pulled up to the next spot where I'm gonna make a couple new sets. You can see we got this big wooded draw here, and then it comes up and keeps going, and then it comes back over here, and we got this pond. So this is just like a major pinch point hub area for everything coming through here. Okay, I'll show you this one finished set here. It's right by this log. I added that piece of electrical tape. Trap's bedded right here in the middle. Got a dirt hole over here with bait, dirt hole over there with bait, and then a lure up there on that little stick. So should be a really good spot for a cat.